Favorite realtor, Mr. Landlord Status. And today I want to talk to y'all about equity. 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 Equity is very important because equity is how America built wealth. Most of America's wealth is built off of equity, whether it be equity in a company, equity in real estate, equity in stocks and bonds, equity. And you are losing money. Yes, losing money if you are not building equity. If you're not building equity in your savings account, essentially you're losing money. Because if you have $10,000 and you've been saving that $10,000 and that same $10,000 has been there since 1980 and you try to withdraw it in 2020, you can't buy as much with that $10,000 like you could have in 1980 because you don't have equity. If you are paying rent and you're if you're paying rent and you're a tenant and not a landlord, then you're not building equity and you're actually in the negative. You're losing a lot of money. You're losing a lot of money, from my opinion. There are a lot of people out there that would say otherwise, but if you're not building equity, you're losing money. Even if you're staying with your grandma, you're staying with your mom, you're staying with your aunt, you're staying with your uncle, you're staying with a friend, and you don't have to pay rent, or maybe the rent you pay is very little, you're still losing money. It's that simple. Just off the simple fact that it's not building, it's not increasing. For example, let's say you can't afford to buy your dream house. So what? They kept us, me personally, brothers, brown people, yellow people, purple people, they kept us out of real estate for a reason. So we couldn't build equity, and equity builds wealth. If people were trying to keep other people out of the industry, then it must be important. Excuse my look. Don't let the look confuse you. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Charles Sanders. I'm a realtor. I've been a landlord for about 5 years, over 5 years now. Been in real estate for over 5 years. Before that, I was a cop. I was in law enforcement for 13 years. I helped over hundreds of people find affordable housing. I helped tons of people find housing to buy a house, first time home buyers, retirement homes. That's my quick little resume. But today we're going to talk about equity. And if you don't have equity, you're wasting time. You're not building nothing. Get out. Go build equity. I don't care if you can't afford your dream home. I don't care. At this point, just go get something. Just go build equity. Go build up your net worth. Woo! That's another word for you. Net worth. If you're making $50,000, $60,000 and you're renting, then you have a net worth of $50,000, $60,000. That's what you make every single year. But if you buy a home, a $90,000 home, all right, let's say you just bought a $90,000 home and you make $60,000 a year, you're now worth $150,000. Let's say 3 years later, you upgrade and you buy a $200,000 home. You still have your $90,000 home, right? But that $90,000 home is now worth $100,000. You bought a $200,000 home. You're still making $60,000. You're worth $360,000. That's your net worth. Barring that you have any other stream of income, that's your net worth. Get your net worth up. You don't have to start off with your dream home. Start somewhere building equity, especially for my brothers and sisters that have been kept out of the real estate game since 1934, after the Great Depression. Especially after they made rules and laws for the Federal Housing Administration, keeping you out of that. Federal Housing Administration, FHA, yes. Even the VA. A lot of you guys had grandpas, came back from the war. There were people of color and they could not get a loan in the VA. They were purposely keeping you out of the real estate industry, out of the home ownership industry, so you and your family and your legacy and your family generational wealth, all that generational wealth talk that y'all be doing, they kept you out of that. So you couldn't build equity. And here we are, 2020, all this opportunity, and you talking about, nah, man, I'm cool with my mom's house. Nah, man, I'm cool with this little apartment until I can get that dream home. No, that's the problem. We in la la land too much. We dreaming too much. We need to stick to facts. We need to stick to real life. In real life, you can afford an $85,000 home or a $50,000 home or $100,000 home. That's okay. Start there. And then in 5 years, you can rent that out and use that rent for your upgrade and count that as income. You could be still making the same amount of money, but because you're renting that old house out, you're making more money to pay down that mortgage, and then the leftovers you're making over to pay your new mortgage, which is an upgrade. But you can't upgrade if you don't get in the game. I'm talking equity talk. I'm talking boss talk right now. This ain't for everybody. I heard Jay Morrison say only 20% of the people are going to understand this. I'm only talking to the 20%. I'm only talking to the minority of people that are going to understand what I'm talking about. You got to go build equity. Go right now. And if you don't know where to start, you need a buyer's consultation. And guess what? I'm giving those out for free. I'm giving buyer consultations out for free. I don't charge nothing for a buyer's consultation. All you got to do is email me, charlessanders@realtyexecutives.com. charlessanders@realtyexecutives.com. That's it. Free game alert. Free game alert. And I'm sorry that I'm pumped up. I'm sorry that I look like this. Laid back. I just got done working out. But after my workout, I always feel inspired. I always feel like I get an inspiration. I get something that comes down from God or somewhere. And he's telling me to tell you, y'all got to get y'all equity up. You out there fighting for equality when you should be out there fighting for equity. Equity is going to get you equality. Without no equity, you have no stakes in the game. You're not a shareholder. How can you be treated equally if you don't have any skin in the company that is called America that you're in? Huh? You want to call the shots in a business that you're not a shareholder of, that you don't have any equity in? Come on, man. I'm talking boss talk. Only 25% of y'all going to get this. 20% of y'all going to get this. That's 1/4. 1/5, excuse me. I'm messing up today. I'm just so fired up, I don't even care. Listen, America is a company. And if you don't have any equity in the company, you're not a shareholder in the company, then you cannot ask for anything because you don't have any equity in the company of America. Woo! That's off the top of the dome. Listen. Get your equity game up. Get into real estate. Learn how you can go do your Googles. Go do your Googles. Email me, charlessanders@realtyexecutives.com. Find out how you can get equity, how you can build wealth. Because this is how equity works. A lot of people that bought homes, think about the people that bought homes in California or other places in the United States that is very expensive. And they bought beachfront property and they bought it for cheap. How much is that $50,000 investment they made in the 60s? How much is that worth in 2020? $1 million, $2 million? And they paid 50 grand for it. And the property is over $1 million easy. Easy. That's equity. That's the power of equity. You make an investment, you upkeep the property, you sit on it, you pass it down a couple generations, and you straight. And all you did was go buy a property. And you built equity. So look, hey, I'm your favorite realtor, Mr. Landlord Status. Hit me up for a free buyer's consultation, charlessanders@realtyexecutives.com. I don't need to be in your state. I don't need to be in your city. I don't need to be in your county. Hit me up, email me, and I will get back to you. I'm good about getting back to people. I don't care if it's 100 of y'all. I'm good at getting back to people. You better check my record. Peace.